Eureka! I know! We can grow the economy, we can. By asking the regulators to help. Yeah, the same regulators that we accused of being in the way a few weeks ago. Yeah, that'll work, won't it? Anyway, before I get into it, if you must kind and boot the old like button, and maybe subscribe to the channel and the bell icon, because then you get one fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. And if you want to support the channel, you can do it on Patreon or buy us a coffee, and the links are down below. Well, Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, well, he's asked UK regulators for ideas to boost the economy, to boost growth. That's reassuring, isn't it? Shouldn't the government be the ones with the ideas? Just put it out there. Now, let's just say this isn't going to bode very well. It's going to be thrown in the Labour Party's face. Nigel Farage is going to get hold of it, and he's going to take the mick out of Keir Starmer, the fact that he hasn't got any ideas. Because that's what it looks like. That's the perception of this. Or is he trying to go beyond what the government can actually do? Oh, I doubt it. You see, the figures for growth came out, and the government got a look at them before we did, and quite frankly, well, we ain't got no growth. We are on the borderline of another recession. I might call it technical recessions again, but it is still a recession. The UK is in a dire place. It really is. Now, areas of growth have been financial services in the UK. They haven't really been affected too badly because of Brexit. There's been obviously a lot of additional costs. But every other sector in the United Kingdom has caused, well, not caused, has been the cannon fodder. I don't know. Anyway, they're suffering, all right? And their GDP has come down. And basically, the UK's GDP has come down in the form of its profit margin. It's effectively the same GDP. It's been propped up by London, all right? But unfortunately, for all those businesses, everything's become more expensive for farmers. Actually, no, they're probably scuppered now. The fishermen, actually, they're probably scuppered as well now. And crikey, I'll get there in a minute. I don't know, manufacturing sector. Yeah, people have to import stuff from the EU. That's all become a lot more expensive because of Brexit. You might say not, but it is. It's because of Brexit. Import charges, costs, tariffs, you name it. Everything becomes more expensive. Car manufacturing, considering it was all just-in-time supply chain. Parts for an engine. Cylinder head for a Mini, for instance. They said, go across that channel 6 times before it ends up in the car. But, apparently it's the will of the people and all that. What a load of bollocks. The will of the people who clearly did not have a clue what they were voting for. If we told them, well, you don't know what you're voting for. What are you saying we don't know what we're voting for? Oh, how rude. Oh, dare you hurt our feelings. Little snowflakes, that's what they are. The damage that's been done by Brexit, and those who voted for, and those who are still pushing for it, that's not the kind of Brexit I voted for. It went to a different school, apparently. Painful. Just painful. Well, there's an article in the BBC, it's all over the place actually, but Starmer asks UK regulators ideas to boost growth. Now, I was reading through this, I thought, oh my god, this is embarrassing. What the hell are you doing? I made a video earlier, I was going on about communication, the Labour Party, and they clearly, their communication skills are horrendous. Mine aren't brilliant. I suffer with being able to articulate stuff or brain fog, because I have fibromyalgia, you see. So even when I make these videos, I have to be in the right mindset to make them. And it's just nuts. It's like they don't know what they're doing. A lot of people have either donated, lent their vote for the Labour Party. Now, really, they need to be returning that, given a reward for that. Now, we've seen a lot of policies being put through, the ones that get publicised by the right-wing media, that is. Never mind all the good stuff that the Labour Party has done. Like, one of the first bills coming into the Commons was the rail nationalisation bill. Taking it away from the private sector. Brilliant. What about the free school, the breakfast clubs for kids and what have you? Make sure kids got something in their belly before they get to school. Because so many kids don't, these days. It's quite sad how dire things are for people. I'm okay. I live in my little farmhouse here in France, and it's lovely, But can you imagine it? You just, if you can't afford, or your life is such a rat race, you make mistakes, you forget stuff. Maybe you've got other problems, and a kid goes to school half the time with nothing in their belly. There's a lot of people out there struggling with mental health. There really is, and it's a dire situation. And they don't want to ask for help because they worry about their children. Oh, they'll take their children away from me, they say. They won't. They'll give you help, But, it's just horrendous communication skills. It really is. So, anyway, it's by Joe Pike of BBC. Now, I'm not loving the BBC, but it's formatted all right on my page. So the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and the Chancellor and Business Secretary have written to the UK's main regulators asking them to come up with ideas for reform that could boost the economic growth. This is embarrassing. Now, if they were brainstorming or something like that, it'd be different when they had brainstorming together, so to speak. Would it be different? Yeah, I suppose it'd be different. But you don't necessarily make the stuff public. Because it is. When people brainstorm, they come up with shit ideas as well as good ideas. Anyway, they contacted the watchdogs, including the energy regulator, Ofgem, and the water regulator, Ofwat, before Christmas, asking them to submit proposals by mid-January. And this comes after figures published earlier this week indicate the UK economy had flatlined between July and September. Yes, and a lot of this is getting blamed on the Class 4 national insurance contributions, which is basically the employer's contribution for an employee, because they pay national insurance contribution for their work, and the employer has to, it's effectively matching it, really. It's very similar. Well, that's been increased in the UK. Now, everyone's saying, oh, great, you're not getting no investment, that's why. No, the economy's gone down because of Brexit and other shit, all right? In the 14 years of Tory rule. That's why the economy is shit. Not because of just one increase to the national insurance contribution. That's bollocks. That's just the right-wing press literally just grabbing hold of that and, drawn out of all proportion. Doesn't affect most people. It just affects large companies, really. Now, you could argue that additional cost, which is quite small on an individual basis, it ends up, My grandpappy said to me, if you look after the pennies, the pounds will look after themselves, which is very, very true. So, yes, the economy's shit, and Keir Starmer is desperate. That's what it looks like to me. Oh my God, this looks really bad. What can we do? I know, we'll ask the regulators. The Shadow Business Secretary, Andrew Griffith, basically Conservative, said that the letter says all you need to know about Sir Keir Starmer's government, leading to he has to beg his own government to create growth after Labour's damaging Brexit budget. To the letter, which is also understood to have been sent to the Environment Agency, the Financial Conduct Authority and healthcare regulators, was first reported by Sky News. Signed by Chancellor Jill Reeves and Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds, it said ministers believed collaboration to be essential to ensure that the regulatory environment became more pro-growth and pro-investment while respecting the independence of regulators. Now, it wasn't that long ago the government was telling us that the regulators were in the way. They were stopping things getting done. Later on in this article, they say about we're going to go through it like full fine-tooth comb, or with a fine-tooth comb, and if we see anything that blocks trade or whatever, we will get rid of it. Well then, are you going to get rid of the Class 4 national insurance contributions? Are you going to promote growth that way? I personally don't think it's necessary. I think there's... I've been in business long enough. That wouldn't have stopped us expanding. It wouldn't have done. We would have just costed it into our work. That's all we'd have done. We'd basically put our prices up. And yes, you might lose a few customers, but also you constantly win them anyway. And there's a massive shortage. So really, especially in the manufacturing and construction areas, there's a big shortage anyway. So I don't think it's an issue. I think it's all been drawn out of proportion, and I think it's just another attack on Labour by the right-wing press, the media, and obviously the right-wing political parties, like the Nigel Farages and stuff like that. Nigel Farage can come up with every single idea, just like that, because he knows full well he's not going to get in power. He's going to get closer. He's going to become the opposition. I can definitely say that. But Labour's going to lose a lot of seats unless things really pan out well. Labour will lose some seats next election, and Tories will gain some, and Reform will gain a lot. Still think it'll be a Labour majority, but I just don't. That's my feeling. But things can change, It's a long way away. So anyway, what say you? Do you think it's a no-brainer? Ask the regulators after you told them to piss off, get out of our way, or do you think it's a stupid idea? Do you think it looks bad? I think it looks a little bit feeble, if you ask me. Please leave it in the comments down below, because I do read the comments, but you probably already know. But if you want to support the channel, get Patreon or buy us coffee, just like the video, and subscribe and little bell icon, because then you get one that's in your pocket every time I upload another video. But for now,